Hey everyone, it's Elise, your kitchen shrink, and you're watching ETV, the place to be to nourish your mind and body to flourish. So it's another Q&A Wednesday, and we've got another question, and this question comes from Steve from Seattle, Washington, and Steve writes, in the recent magazine article, Dr. Oz wrote about the fact that we should give both canned and frozen vegetables a chance versus fresh. What is your opinion? So we all have opinions about this. Heck, I even have my own opinion. So you've got celebrities, spokespeople, spokesmodels, educators. They constantly are making blanketed statements. It could be backed by research, maybe not. But what they're saying is, organic is better, not organic is better. Choose, fresh, choose frozen, choose canned, yada, yada, yada. The list goes on. So this can get really overwhelming. And it can also make us feel a little bit stuck because there's so many expert opinions being thrown at us. And we can literally slip into this feeling like our mind is frozen in this big old freezer. So watch out, because a little schooling will de-thaw this mystery and empower you to make informed decisions about the products that you choose at the grocery store or wherever you get your groceries at. So here it is, the facts about fresh, frozen, and canned. And a research study at the University of Illinois, the Department of Food Science and Human Nutrition, they concluded that canned and frozen vegetables retain most of their nutritional value. The authors of the study found that some vitamin C and possibly folate are lost during the heating process, but that the canning process did not affect other essential vitamins and minerals. Vitamin A, thiamine, potassium, dietary fiber, protein, and calcium remain stable during the canning process. So no matter what we eat, whether it's fresh, frozen, canned, the nutritional value is actually going to depend upon a lot of different factors. You're choosing fresh foods, and I want you to just think about, in a perfect world, if you could go outside into your backyard, or maybe you live in a high-rise and you can go up to the roof, and you could pick your fresh fruit and your vegetables. You could pick it at a time when it's at its peak, it's its ripest, it's full of nutrients and vitamins, and you could pick as much as you wanted, so you're not buying in bulk and essentially throwing away lots of food. But let's be real, where do we usually shop? We usually shop at the grocery store, the grocery market, Costco, Sam's Club, Walmart, etc. And what are we actually getting? We're getting food that has been picked before its peak, before nutrients and minerals and vitamins have actually been able to fully mature on the product, and then it actually is maturing on its way en route to your supermarket or wherever you're getting your food. So planes, trains, trucks, even boats are carrying food at a national level and then at an international level. So we need to think about that. Our food, from the moment it's being picked, is losing its value. So there are some things like canning and frozen foods that can actually hold in these nutrients, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them right now. Now, if you choose canned products, here's what you need to know. Canned products have been around for a long time. They used to use canning way back when to preserve food, when we actually needed to preserve it and wasn't so readily available. So they did this a couple different ways. One of the ways they did this is by adding lots of salt. So if you are choosing canned food, make sure you're flipping over that can and looking at the back and choosing cans that are low in sodium or there's no salt added. So let's say you wanted canned tomatoes. Make sure when you flip it over, it's tomatoes and water, and that's it. Also, sometimes they add extra preservatives in the cans as well, so I want you to make sure that when you flip it over, it's just those two ingredients and nothing else. But wait, there is more to this story. So also, to prevent food from spoiling, they do a couple of things during the canning process. They can pasteurize the can, they turn it up to really high heats to kill any of those microorganisms or toxins living in the food. They use ionizing radiation, and they can also submerge in a really strong saline concoction. And so the heating process and some of these other processes can destroy certain vitamins and vital nutrients. So that's something to keep in mind. And Plus, I wanted to add one more thing. There's a lot of talk about BPA, and BPA stands for bisphenol A. And bisphenol A is an estrogen-mimicking chemical that they use in the liners of the cans. They use it in plastics and things like that. So why do we need to be wary of this? BPA has been found and linked to different diseases, such as heart disease. So it's just one more thing to be conscious of when you are buying, if you are buying canned foods, make sure you buy foods that say BPA free. So if you're saying, yeah, Elise, I get it, the canned food thing, no way, I'm never getting rid of it, it's way too quick, it's easy, I can get a whole meal in it, I want to tell you, I think you're doing a little bit of a disservice for yourself. If you are going to do canned goods, make sure you're flipping over that can, and don't buy a can that has more than 140 milligrams of sodium in it. Don't buy a can that does not have a label that says BPA free. And also make sure when you flip it over on the label, read it to just make sure it's exactly what you want. So use that tomatoes and water example that I showed you earlier. And frozen foods. And I wanted to read this to you. So according to Iowa State University, freezing vegetables preserves more nutrients than canning. Freezing impedes growth of bacteria and molds and hinders enzymatic activity. The method preserves the nutritional value present at the time the vegetable is frozen. So the U.S. Department of Agriculture actually recommends freezing vegetables at their peak and at 0 degrees or lower to preserve freshness and nutritional quality. Now listen up because I've got a tweetable for you. This quote is by B.W. Richardson, and what he says is, preserve and treat your food as you would your body, remembering that in time, food will be your body. Pretty nifty, huh? And in the comments below, I want you to share with me the order in which you are going to start purchasing food. And go over to mykitchenshrink.com because I will be leaving my comments as well. Did you like this video? If so, subscribe and share it with your friends. Want even more resources for great recipes plus nutrition tips and insights that I only share in my weekly newsletter? Come on over to mykitchenshrink.com and sign up. Stay tuned and keep asking those questions. Thanks so much for watching and catch you next time on ETB.